Oh my goodness, we're live. Look, I've got a studio full of heroes. And I always start with a song. So I'm going to play my song today. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. There you go.
Nice one, Ashley.
Welcome to show 200. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go around the room in alphabetical order. So Gillian, you're first. Tell everybody who you are, what you do, and also tell everybody what time it is where you are.
Oh, good. Oh, goodness. Well, my name is Gillian Whitney. I am I'm so tired. I can't think of who I am.
Should we come back to you?
Yeah, it's 4:30 in the morning from Las Vegas that I'm joining. And only for this would I get up at 4:30 in the morning to join you to celebrate your 200th. So I am a LinkedIn live stream strategist and coach. I am with Video Easy Peasy, and I make video and live stream easy peasy. So that's me.
Fantastic. Gus, I think you're next.
Awesome. So yeah, hi everybody. I'm from Coventry, which is like the Las Vegas of the Midlands, how I call it. And so yeah, I'm a marketing strategist, social media specialist, and I occasionally help people with LinkedIn as well.
Fantastic. And last, but by no means least, John Espirian.
Thanks for having me, Ashley, and congratulations. Yes, I'm John Espirian, the relentlessly helpful LinkedIn nerd. I'm based in South Wales, and I'm a regular watcher of Ashley's program. So really delighted to be here to help him celebrate. Let's get into it.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Look, you've written a book as well, John. So
there you go. There it is. Thank you. And not the only book on the show either.
No, apparently not. Look at them all.
Come on, we got this one as well. Yes,
and John, let me pass this to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, brilliant.
So
it's Ashley's book.
I love this. I love this book because on the very back it says you'll no longer be stuck for content ideas. John Espirian.
Absolutely.
I've written the book and your name's on the back. That is just awesome. John, question for you. Behind you, you've got a load of post-it notes. Now, is that because you can't afford wallpaper?
Yeah. They're all the members of my Espresso Plus community. So your name is up there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Along with quite a few others. Look, we've got loads of people coming in and saying hello. So we've got Odessa Shearad. So she was guest number 2. And you've been on quite a few times, Odessa. Never heard it said about Coventry. Yeah, it is the Mecca. You need to go. Niraj is there. Hello, Niraj. So he's also on your list, isn't he?
He absolutely is.
Nigel Greenwood's on my show a few weeks ago. Hi, Nigel. He's too busy in Las Vegas, so he's not allowed a book. So there we go. And you've got some pink doodads behind you as well. So what are the pink ones for?
Those are the speakers at the Uplift Live conference that we're doing next year, and Gillian is one of them.
So absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. And what sort of time will that start? Because poor Gillian, you're coming over, aren't you, Gillian?
Yes. No virtual.
Finally meet you. Finally give you a proper English hug.
Yeah, we can't wait. Yeah, it's in March in Birmingham. So yeah, come along, everyone, if you want to learn a bit more about LinkedIn. And Ashley, you've reached 200 episodes, and you do them twice a week. So is that 2 years worth of live streaming?
Yeah, I started in July 21. So when I set my business up, so in my previous role, both my boss and myself applied to LinkedIn because back then you had to apply, didn't you? And do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I got the golden ticket. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. What do I do? What do I do? And I really didn't have a clue what to do. And someone turned around to me and said, well, whatever you do, you've got to put a guitar in it. So I started the show by playing a song. And then I just interviewed people. So I got a couple of friends for the first ones. And then it just happened. And we all know that the key advice we all give people on LinkedIn is consistency. I'm very congruent when I give advice, and I've just carried on doing it. And now I get people saying, oh, can I be on your show, please? And so if anyone wants to be on my show now, it's next year. I'm fully booked until next year, which is just incredible. And it's great. It's great fun. And look, you can tell I love doing it. I get to have a little nose into what people are doing. I find out a little bit, have a little bit of fun, help people promote their business or what they're doing. It's just fun. And who knew you could do this on LinkedIn?
It's fab. It's like what I call appointment content. You know, I sit down for lunch here in the UK, and I'll know very often that I can just watch you on one of your shows during lunchtime. Kind of the same with Gillian. I mean, Gillian's got a live show that goes out every Tuesday evening, my time in the UK. Rain or shine, I know it's going to be on. It just keeps you top of mind. It's really a valuable thing to do. So, yeah, well done to both of you.
Appointment marketing, you call it?
I call it appointment content. It's just something you know it's going to be there. It's like Strictly on a Saturday evening. You know it's going to be there, and you can rely on it. So it's great.
No, absolutely. We're both using StreamYard, John. So therefore, you're actually streaming to your LinkedIn and your YouTube, and I'm going to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So we're going all over the shop. I've never seen so many comments coming in, so I'll give you all a shout out. So thanks, Niraj, and you're always welcome. We've got somebody here from I can't even. Do you know? Can you pronounce that?
Curitiba. Yeah,
Curitiba. So hi, John. Thanks for joining in. Jeff Young, namaste to you too, sir. We've got some. Where are you from, Chidozi? And we've also got Simon and Adessa. She's there again. Hi, Adessa. So I got a few questions, guys. I'm going to do it in alphabetical order. I'll do it in reverse alphabetical order so that Gillian can wake up. So, John, why did you become an expert on LinkedIn?
Mostly because I wasn't allowed to talk about the copywriting jobs that I was doing, and I was sharing LinkedIn tips as I learned the platform myself. And I thought, I might as well just keep doing more of this because it's popular. And so I was doing it to serve my own business, but in the end, it became my business. That's it.
Brilliant. Awesome. Gus?
For me, it was the ease and the simplicity of LinkedIn. So I'm a social media guy, and I've got about 40 social media apps on my phone, but it all comes to it's all about the audience. So I believe that LinkedIn is the best place to talk to an audience. And quite frankly, I love talking. So it's that's kind of why I love LinkedIn and got into LinkedIn. So that's what I teach other people to start finding an audience and talk to them.
Fantastic. I'm going to come back to you in a minute because I didn't know there was 40 social media apps. And Gillian, so why are you a LinkedIn expert?
So I'm one of those people that hopped over from Facebook several years ago because of the lack of organic reach. And I think that's what attracted with me to LinkedIn was that you could actually grow a business without having to pay any money at all. And of course, the first person I found was my mentor up there, John Espirian, and I began learning from him. And I read his book. We showed the book earlier, and I decided to, double down on video. But then I decided, hey, come on, as I'm learning, I'll teach everybody else because video on LinkedIn is not easy peasy. It's really complicated. So, that's why I got into LinkedIn, was just to continue to help people. As I learned, I taught. And I think that's what we all do on LinkedIn, learn and teach.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you all said the word help. And I think that's why we all bond together, because we just love helping people. And like you say, it's not easy peasy, is it? And no. People come on to my workshops and they go, I don't know what I'm doing. Whereas on Facebook and Instagram, it seems easier. And is it because it's more difficult, or is it because it's unfamiliar? Gus, what do you reckon to that?
I think, as with any social media, there's no dark art. But as John clearly says in his book, it's all about consistency and congruence. And I think if you are the same shape everywhere, it's something that we can teach others. The thing is, for us, we spend all day, every day on this platform. So we've learned the little nuances and the things to do, etc. For most people who have proper day jobs, it's harder for them. So that's where we come in to make it, to use Gillian's strapline, to make it easy peasy for others, from what we taught to teach others.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so, John, you run your Espresso Plus group. How many people in that group do you reckon are LinkedIn teachers, specialists, trainers, whatever you want to call us?
It's about a third, and we've got just over, it's sort of 210 members or so now. So yeah, there's a good whack of people, good 60 or 70 people who specialize in some way. Not all of them are LinkedIn trainers, but a lot of them are. And the thing about this platform is that, okay, we need to explain the basics to a lot of people, but the rate of change, if you really want to be on the cutting edge, it's just hectic to keep up with. So many changes, at least a dozen every month, and it's hard work staying on top of it all, let alone going across other platforms. So yeah, so we're really specializing in giving people the advanced topics as much as possible, but yeah, and loads of specialists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you all.
I just want to add to that, because I'm a member of Espresso Plus, and as a LinkedIn trainer myself, to be around so many people who want to make the most of LinkedIn, as well as the LinkedIn trainers. Like, I learned so much from John, and I have ever since, from the time I met him some years ago, and I met him through LinkedIn some years ago. And even though I like to think that I know a lot, there's always more to learn, and there's always, different people get different things at different times, etc. And I think from learning from others to then impart that and like help our business to help other people's business, etc. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Espresso Plus, so yeah, I very much love being a part of it.
I really appreciate that, Gus. And what it really it speaks to the bigger picture that there's a lot of collegiate spirit in this place. And I'm not just talking about my community, but there are people who will go out there and, I mean, you're doing it with your show, Ashley. You're putting a spotlight on other business owners. You might let them fend for themselves, but you're actually showcasing someone. And I often discover new people through you because, you know a different set of people to what I do. But you're not scared of bigging up other people, helping them, giving them tips without necessarily asking for anything in return. And that's a great way to be. I think that's fantastic, and we need more of that, I think.
I've got an abundance mindset, so that there's nearly 1 billion people on LinkedIn. So look, there's enough room for a few trainers, isn't there? I think that's the thing, and it's I tell this story quite often. But when I was working as a software guy for an accountancy firm, I mastered the software, and I went out helping my clients with some of the things they could do. And they were going, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And I said, well, can you give me a testimonial? And this accountant turned around and said, no, not at all. I said, well, why not? She said, well, if I give you a testimonial, everybody else is going to buy it and they'll have the same competitive advantage that I've got. That doesn't go on today. And I speak to accountants today and they go, oh no, I share this and I share that. And why don't we have an abundance mindset? It's absolutely crazy. Gus, you said you've got 40 apps on your phone for social media. So which ones are we missing out on?
Damn, don't. Yeah. So I knew you're going to ask me that. So, okay, let's start. I'm going to run through them really quickly. So obviously we have what I call the Champions League spots. So we have the Facebook, the Instagram, LinkedIn, obviously, and I would say Twitter versus TikTok. It's like Arsenal versus Tottenham. I think there's always one of them that are going to get the fourth spot, kind of thing. And then we have, the next level down, the European places. We have things like Pinterest and Snapchat and and all that kind of stuff. But then we can talk about the new ones like T2 or Spill or I heard one the other day. I think it was called No Name or something like that kind of thing. And then we have things like Parler and Discord and Hive. We still have Clubhouse. Remember Clubhouse? As some people still use it allegedly.
That's still going.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's those that we may not see as social media, but actually still act as apps, like things like Canva or Adobe Express, etc. And then all of a sudden, your phone's full of all these things that we need to use. And I know John uses a few others like Camtasia and things like that. And all of a sudden, you've just got a phone full of apps. And when you try to talk to people about marketing, as in social media marketing, they kind of say, well, I need to be here and I need to be there. And, we've got Blue Sky and, and all these other kind of places that are coming up and trying to take over Twitter or trying to take over Facebook. And I heard there was a LinkedIn kind of competitor recently and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, the Champions League will always be the Champions League. You'll always get, the Liverpools, the Man Uniteds and stuff always at the top. So you got your Facebook, your Instagram, and definitely LinkedIn. And like I said to somebody earlier, I think LinkedIn is the godfather of social media, not only because it's one of the oldest, but also I think one by one it's picking off all the others basically, and ultimately it's the one that's going to stand the test of time.
Oh, beautifully put. I love that. We've got a million more comments coming in, but I've just got to show this one first. Is Gus on every single platform? Does he sleep?
Sleep is overrated. Yeah, sleep is overrated.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So
I just pretend I'm in Vegas all the time. That's the thing.
We've got Tina from Belgium. We've got Jane, James, Tatiana, Jeremy. I love this. Thank you, Jeremy. He's calling us kids. Isn't that lovely? Margaret Bradshaw, she's on my show tomorrow. She is an absolute scream. So tomorrow is going to be just as crazy as today. Hi there, LinkedIn user. Nigel, this is the thing, Nigel, and you do exactly the same with your business. It is all about collaborating and supporting each other, which is why my song has got the words in, you get out what you put in, because you absolutely do. John, you need to put a link in here somewhere so that people can come and join Espresso Plus, because it really is an absolutely amazing community.
Thank you very much. It's easily found through my profile if anyone wants to take a look there.
Where would that be? Would that be on LinkedIn, John?
It would be exactly that. And actually, just on that point, Gus has just rattled off a massive long list of social media, which is all well and good. The thing is, I mean, it's good for trainers to know about these things, but as users, you're not going to be good on 40 platforms. Absolutely no chance. And in fact, you're probably not going to be good on 5 platforms unless you really do give up your sleep. But you can be good on 1 platform or maybe 2. So you've kind of got to pick your poison, really, and just say, right, this is the place that fits my vibe, fits my customers, and I'm going to plant my flag here and then do maybe a bit of dabbling elsewhere, but one main channel on social media is probably all you need. And then, you need a corner of your website, corner of the internet that you can call your own. I saw someone talking about this earlier today. It's like, I kind of regret not having somewhere where I can host all of my writing, because, he's a writer, but never published on his own channel. And like some of his stuff is lost now because he didn't curate it. So social media is great. We all love it. We all use it every day, but you need to balance it with something that has actually got your name on it that you own as well.
So on that note, I've got a question for all 3 of you. I know this is not my show, but I've got a question for all 3 of you. Speaking of which, if LinkedIn died tomorrow, where would you go? What would be the next? What's your number 2 social media platform, for example?
YouTube.
Don't do that in alphabetical order, please.
YouTube. So I'd go to YouTube because it's like I'm half there anyways. I have a YouTube channel. I live stream, like you said, Ashley. It's like you do this well. It's like you don't just go to one channel, you go to multiple channels. Sometimes LinkedIn doesn't work when you're streaming. So you like having that backup. So YouTube would be my number 2.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair comment, but I never seem to think of YouTube as proper social media, because it doesn't have, unless I'm missing something, it doesn't have a DM component, does it? You can't send private messages to each other. And so I've always categorized it differently. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely the place to be if you want exposure. Right now, I'm really enjoying Threads. I've been using that a lot, and there seems to be a massive exodus from Twitter X. And they've put these voice notes in there, which automatically transcribe as well. So you can actually hear people's voices and read their content as well. I think it's really, really good. But, I don't think LinkedIn's going to go away. It's backed by Microsoft. It's been around for 20 years and it's kind of boring, but that's a good thing. It's like putting your money in a low interest bank. It's safe and it will get you returns, rather than some wild investment on something that might be worth nothing tomorrow. So that's the way I see it.
I'm glad you said that, John, because I don't know what I'd do if LinkedIn went tomorrow.
Well, yeah,
I love the chattiness of it, and the adding comments, and it's because I work here all on my own. It's my water cooler. It's my it's my staff canteen, or whatever you want to call it. I get to hang out with amazing people. People like Jeff Young, who's just put in the group how to join. What a top guy. We've got someone here from the Essex Riviera. And we've got a question, guys. How can I make my page more my LinkedIn page more relevant? Come on, Gillian, give us a shout out for that one.
Oh, pages are tough. Pages are tough because it's like, for the most part, people want to deal with people on LinkedIn and your profile. So it's like, I don't even spend a lot of time on my page. I know I should, but that is a tough one. So I'm actually going to defer to Gus or John on that one because pages is not my jam.
So jumping in before John, what I would say is that your page should be like your shop window, whereas your profile is when people enter the shop. That's where you get to chat to them, kind of thing. So your page is the way I use my personal profile and my company page. My personal profile tells the world about me, and people get to trust me and all that kind of stuff. Whereas my page is all about my business and anything that's happening in social media or new changes on LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff. So people think, oh, actually, this guy knows what he's talking about, and we want to know more. Then they come to my personal profile. So I would say use a page as a shop window, make it relevant to your audience. What are the kind of things that your audience would think that would make them think this guy's the authority, he knows what he's talking about, basically, to entice them into the personal profile. John?
Well, I always my thing I always go back to is that your content tells, but your profile sells. So the profile is where you should be. Like you said, the shop front, it's the thing that really shows what your value proposition is. It just needs to show as much as possible that you are relevant to the person you're trying to appeal to and that you speak their language. So just think about what kind of questions they have. If you can answer people's questions as effectively as possible, people come to your profile maybe looking for a service provider. They want to know how much it costs, what it's like to work with you, that you've got answers to the kind of questions they're likely to ask you before they pay you a penny. If you can showcase those things, they're just much more likely to trust you. And so, just answering questions, it's not really a secret, but it's what I've been doing for years. And it's the way I build trust with people, because I'm not asking for anything in return. But a proportion of those people ultimately will want to work with me. And that's my business model in a nutshell. It's just trying to be as helpful as you can. So get your profile to be as helpful to your ideal customer as you can. And that's it.
Yeah. People buy from people who they know, like, and trust. So let's build all that trust. And a good way to do that, Gillian,
is video.
Absolutely. We've not practiced or rehearsed this, but come on, tell us why we should be doing video, please. Because so many people, well, only is this right? Only 1% of people actually create content on LinkedIn. So what is the percentage of people of those people actually creating video?
Well, John's the math nerd, so he's better on the stats with that, because it is a small amount that's creating video, but video is actually how you build trust. It's how you get visible. It's like people get to know you, like you, trust you, because ultimately you want to have people see you on LinkedIn, and then you want to move them off LinkedIn to have that buying experience, that customer experience. And the best compliment you can ever get with somebody is if they say, you're just like you are on a video. If you come across in person, like I'm going to come across in person to meet you guys next year in March, and you're not going to say to me, oh, wow, you're nothing like you are on video, because it's like, I'm exactly the same. And that's the honesty that I think comes with video.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing it doesn't do, Gillian, is height.
That's true.
I look really tall here because I'm close to the ceiling in my short shed. And when people meet me, they go, oh, you're smaller.
Well, I'm 5'4". So just know when you meet me, I'm like a little dachshund. I got this long body and short legs.
That's fantastic. I can't believe how many people are coming in and saying some nice things. So Akuzi's saying it's been brutal. So I don't know what's happening there. Someone else.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about this in Espresso Plus about a lack of reach and visibility, and I'm noticing it myself with my own posts. It could be a misreporting thing, or it could just be a problem with the way that the algorithm is setting up. It's particularly true for groups content, and I've had someone from LinkedIn groups say as much. So yeah, but that's a blip. That should not change your strategy. A blip should not change your strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as you're consistent, John.
Yeah, if you keep showing up, then the blips will just even out over time. So don't use this as an excuse to say, oh, well, LinkedIn doesn't work, I'm going to go somewhere else. It is a blip. But what is true is that the more and more people on the platform all the time, so that wedge of the pie that you've got, the slice of the pie is probably thinning unless you keep turning up. So just be aware that there are more content creators coming to the platform all the time. I think the latest stat is actually more like 5 or even more % of people actually creating content now.
Okay.
But that's still not loads if you compare it with the likes of Facebook and so forth. So, still a place to get good visibility, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So Simon is a first timer today, but he just, John, you're awesome, he says. So that's all good to see. Tristan is a friend of ours, isn't he? Where is he? I saw he popped in and said hello. And I can't keep dropping in all the comments. So thank you very much for all the lovely things. What does this say? What if you in real life you're a bit daft and waffly? Yes, we. Gillian, answer that question, because we do want to see you being a bit daft and waffly. Look at me.
You do. And actually that's the segue in. You do video and you do live, and people say, oh my gosh, with live, how could I do live? Because it takes me 60 million takes to do a video. How on earth would I ever do live? That's the beauty of live. You don't have to do 60 million takes. You flip on that button, you go live, and you're just like, I am who I am. I show up here. But you have what you're doing today is you're showing the comments. People are seeing, they're engaging. So to me, live takes all the great stuff of video, but then adds in the community that's on the other side. And that to me is the magic about live. It's not perfect, but we don't want it to be perfect. We want it to be a conversation.
Yeah, it's natural, it's flowing. We meet up just before we go live, just to make sure that we're all working and the tech's all working, but we don't sit there and strategize what we're going to talk about. And Gus has put his hand up because he's got something to say and stuff like that. So we've got a few minutes left. John, I want you to tell everybody about Uplift Live, because this is it the first ever LinkedIn conference, or I don't know what you're calling it, but is it the first ever in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK it is, and it's one of the first in the world. So this isn't an official LinkedIn event at all, but it's being put together by LinkedIn enthusiasts for other LinkedIn enthusiasts who just want to take their knowledge up to another level. And we've got excellent speakers from around the world to come together in Birmingham next March. So Gus is helping to co-organize it. Gillian is one of our speakers. Hope that we're going to see you in the audience, Ashley, and I'm going to be one of the speakers as well. It's just going to be a fab event, and usually social media conferences, LinkedIn's a bit of an afterthought, or it's not even there at all. So we just thought, let's just put something together ourselves and go really deep and nerdy and cut the waffle and get straight to the good stuff. So we're having a whole day of learning. So that's Birmingham, March next year.
Fantastic.
Drop us a line if you want some details.
So is there anything going on? Are we having pre-parties, after parties? Is there anything else going on? Do we need to book?
Gus is the man for that.
Do we need to book a hotel room for the week?
Yeah, for sure. So we've just arranged a deal with a beautiful hotel locally. So anybody who's got a ticket will get that information imminently. But yeah, there's going to be a pre-party the night before. Hopefully, all the speakers, because 5 of our 8 speakers are coming from abroad, so hopefully they're going to hang around. And they'll be at the party with us. So actually, the people, you're not just going to see these people for half an hour on stage. It's actually, we get to hang out in a room, we get to talk to each other. Thank you to Jeremy for putting in the link in there. So and obviously Jeremy's one of our co-organizers, but yeah, I'm managing the kind of the pre-party. And I should just add to what John said, the 8 speakers that we have on stage. So we had a wish list, and we kind of said these are our kind of more or less our top 10, and 8 of them said yes, and we only wanted 8. And the speakers that we have are the basically the top LinkedIn specialists from around the world. And it's going to be, as John said, we're going to go deep, we're going to go nerdy. If you want to make the most of LinkedIn and really learn that actually it's not a dark art, but there's so much to it, and we pick elements from it, and the ones that essentially make how we can make LinkedIn work and make money. That's kind of, let's not be around the bush. It's about growing our businesses, making connections, making friends, and making money. So that's what the conference is all about.
No, absolutely fantastic. That's the quickest half hour ever. That is the quickest half hour ever. Just to end, last thought from each of you. Why do you love LinkedIn? And I'm going to go reverse order again, Gillian, just so you can get your thoughts. And Gillian, big special thanks to you. It's not even 5 o'clock, and you look just as fresh as a daisy. So much for coming. So John, why do you love LinkedIn?
Quality of conversation. It's always thought-provoking. It's always supporting. It's always uplifting, and it's just my favorite social media network because of the chat.
Perfect. Gus, why do you love LinkedIn?
For me, yeah, it's exactly the same. It's we can find whoever we want and have good conversations with good people, and we get to curate the perfect audience. We get to connect to who we want to and speak to them and have conversations and essentially, only speak to good people, basically.
Gillian, why do you love LinkedIn?
The globalness. So the very fact that here we are talking across the pond, as long as you're okay about time zones, you can talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere, and talk to people in the future if they're in Australia and New Zealand and that. And the neat thing is that I started, really doing my LinkedIn journey when I lived in Israel. And I got to know people across the pond in England. And, now I'm back in the States. So it's the globalness and how you can meet anybody anywhere. It's just a giant 24/7 party.
Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely fantastic. Lovely comments. Great to see so many people there. John, Gus, Gillian, thank you so much for making my 200th episode absolutely special. Thanks to everybody for all your wonderful comments. And we're gonna go out. I'm just gonna quickly give a shout out to Gabby, who's my guest next week. She is great fun too. But we're gonna go out with a song. So thanks ever so much indeed. Thanks everybody. Cheerio, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Bye.
Congrats.
Thank you. Bye bye. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose.